Hello, Mountaineer fans, and welcome into another edition of Talking About Preseason. This is the 2017 Men's Soccer Edition. We are joined by three members of this year's Southern Vermont College men's soccer crew. From left to right, we have sophomore Fernando Juarez, junior captain Nicholas Joseph, and freshman Jimmy Thatch. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Nick, let's start with you if you don't mind. How do you think the preseason has gone so far, and how much different is it than last year's?
It's a big difference than last year from going into preseason having only like 8 guys. Into this year we have 25, so we got to play 11v11 a lot, and it's a lot different than what I'm used to here. But it's just we're changing the culture here, and we're moving in the right direction so far.
Fernando, how do you think you and the other new guys have performed during the preseason and settled into the program so far?
Well, I mean, it didn't really take much for us to come settle in. We really just came here and everything kind of clicked around the first day. I mean, as far as the other guys, I mean, I could tell everybody kind of settled in around the same pace I did. So everything went pretty smooth.
Jimmy, how much different is the team right now than it was on your first day of training?
Right now the team actually looking a lot stronger than it was first day. Our chemistry's actually getting a lot better than it was. We're finally learning everybody's names and learning like how to talk more and pass more and play more defensively and offensively as a team.
Nick, who on the team has surprised you so far with how they've looked during the preseason?
Jared has actually surprised me. I didn't know what to expect from him coming in. He's from Vermont. He was supposed to go to Castleton, I think, was one of the other schools, and he decided to come here. And he's been performing very well. That's it.
Fernando, what's been the best part of the preseason?
It being over with. You know, we're done running. We're done with the hard part pretty well. Not necessarily the hard part, but the part everybody really struggles in, just running all those miles, and then the 45-minute sprint sessions, you know, we're done with that, so that was pretty much the best part.
Maybe you just provided Jimmy's answer for the next question, which is, what's been the worst part about the preseason?
Worst part about preseason was actually the running part. The sprint sessions, fitness tests. When we came in here, I did not expect to do any of that. So that's actually the worst part about preseason.
Nick, what do you think the team will have to do in order to make the playoffs this year?
We're going to have to communicate together. We're going to have to be able to press as a team and then get into our shape quick. And we got to learn how to play defensively and as a unit together. It's different because there's a lot of younger guys, and there's no seniors this year, so it's a lot of leadership there's leadership, but everyone is like a part of it. Everyone has a certain say. Everyone has a say in stuff.
Fernando, what sort of chemistry does the team have as of right now, after being together for a couple of weeks?
I mean, I think the chemistry is really good. We all, outside of the field, we all pretty much hang out together most of the days. Well, pretty much all day. But I think it's really good. What we do off the field also projects on the field too. So hopefully, when we start playing, we could, you know, everybody could really see how much we bonded in a short amount of time.
Jimmy, how ready do you think the team is for its opening weekend coming up right now?
Personally, I think we're actually very, very ready. We're very prepared to take on as many teams as possible and come out with the victory.
Nick, what's the one game on the schedule that you or the team is most looking forward to, and why?
There's 2 games I'm looking for. It's when we get to play Mitchell. I don't know, there's just something about Mitchell. I just want to beat them. They tied us with like 3 seconds left in the game last year, and that upset me. And then I also want to play Elms at their home field at night, under the lights in front of their fans, and get a W there. That'd be a good moment.
Fernando, what makes this team special and is going to be the reason that you guys have success during the fall?
What makes us special is that we're all young. You know, as Nick said earlier, there are no seniors. So we're all, you know, just really young guys, fresh out of high school. Some of us, I transferred here as well as a couple other guys. And just us being so young, this was going to make it special and actually put a little name out there for ourselves.
Jimmy, what do you think the Mountaineer fans can expect this year?
They can definitely expect a lot of wins. We're definitely going to go to the NCAA tournament. We're going to possibly bring back the region championship for the NECC. They're going to expect a lot.
A lot of dancing too.
That's
I remember that.
handshakes.
Sounds fun. Speaking of fun, a few more questions for you guys. We're going to open it up so anybody can feel free to jump in and answer any of these. First one, who's got the best juggling skills on the team?
Me. I can challenge anybody right now.
I don't know.
Nah, I'm playing. I think it's Nick. What's Nick's name?
Nick Langton.
Nick Langton. He's
Or Ken Jean. He's pretty good.
Who's got the best dance moves on the team?
I don't know. Carlos, maybe?
nah, yeah, Carlos.
Carlos.
Who's got the worst dance moves on the team?
No, Connor.
Connor.
100% Connor.
Who's most likely to blow up the team's phones with Snapchats?
Jimmy. Jimmy's a selfie
Jimmy?
queen.
Who is most likely to not necessarily be late, but to be the last one there for the team bus?
Devin for
Devin.
me.
Devin.
Devin.
There's an over. That's Devin.
He sleeps like a brick.
You guys had a lot of time in the residence halls during preseason. I'm sure you picked up the sticks quite a bit. Who's the best FIFA player on the team?
It's Matt Hatch.
Yeah,
It's
Mr.
sad,
Hatch.
it's sad to say, but it's Matt Hatch.
He always comes back with the late goals.
Disagrees. I disagree.
I think we might have to have a little Matt Hatch versus Jimmy Thatch tournament going, settle this
If I
once
can
and
beat
for all.
Jimmy, then
No,
he can't beat
no.
Matt.
We played 2v2, so technically that didn't count as a victory.
Still came out with a W.
Well, there you have it, guys. Once again, thank you for joining us. We will be right back with Coach Gilmore here on Talking About Preseason. Gentlemen, best of luck this year. Thank you once
very
again.
much.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Mountaineer fans, and welcome back into men's soccer's Talking About Preseason. We are now speaking with second-year SVC head coach Greg Gilmore. Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
So let's start with how you and assistant coach Zilka think that the preseason has gone so far.
I think it's gone well. I think we're definitely continuing to take steps forward. One of our biggest goals has been to basically this season we want to separate ourselves from the last 4 years. All the teams last 4 years have worked extremely hard, but this program hasn't seen playoff soccer in the last 4 years, and we're trying to take steps every single day to change that this year.
Now, when you took this job last year, it was during the summer. You didn't really have a lot of time to recruit before preseason started. Your numbers were a little slim. You ended up having some injuries, which are as to be expected. And you didn't really quite have a lot of depth there across the roster. You've been through a whole year of being able to recruit. You've brought in 20 guys. You got the largest team in program history. How much has that impacted the culture of the program, and how much has it impacted how you've been able to manage the preseason?
Well, our goal this offseason was to change everything, from the gear to the jerseys, the roster size, our attitude in the classroom, and our attitude on the field. In order to do that, we basically needed a fresh start. Me and Pat both worked extremely hard. We wanted to double our roster size. We wanted to make it where if we lost a couple of guys, it wasn't going to hurt us in any major way. We have 25 guys on this team's roster. We have a lot of guys that are battling for starting spots right now. It certainly raised the competition level at practice, and we're going to be a lot deeper than, in all honesty, we've ever been. So we're very excited moving forward. In terms of preseason, we've been able to play 11v11. I'm not sure the program has ever been able to do that before, so it's given us a lot of new opportunities on the training ground, and we get to see guys in a game-like setting where previously we simply couldn't do that. So we're very excited on the new opportunities this roster's given us, but overall we love the work ethic we've seen, and we love the improvements we've seen already through the first 2 weeks.
We just heard from one of your returners, Nick Joseph. You mentioned, different look to the team, whether it be your apparel, the roster size, the players on the roster itself. Everett Field looks different even for the returners. Do they feel like they're coming back to the same program, or does it seem like it's maybe starting from scratch and you guys are throwing out all the old and bringing in the new?
Well, I told all the returners when I got the job, I said, give me a year. Trust me, things are going to change. I wasn't quite sure we were going to change as much as we did, but the school's bought into what we're trying to do as a soccer program. Everyone's been really supportive, and as a result, we've done an almost complete makeover on the field, our gear and our roster size. So the school's behind us, and I'd like to think the returners realize that things are changing, and at this rate, they're changing pretty fast. The downside of that is with 20 new players, I don't think they realize all the things we've accomplished so far, but that doesn't matter. Ultimately, distancing ourselves from the past, the returners, or the new players, they shouldn't really care about that, because you look at the teams we're going to be playing, they all have 25 guys. So right now, our changes, it's putting us on the same playing field as everyone else, and now it's our job to find ways to beat them.
What were you able to learn or take away from last year's preseason that you kept in the back of your mind and were able to incorporate this year to get more out of it for you and the guys?
We needed to find ways to push everyone to be a family. With 13 guys, something goes wrong, it becomes a major thing. With 25 guys, it's going to be more challenging, so obviously there's going to be more guys that aren't going to get as much playing time as they think. But right now, I really like what I see. The guys are hanging out off the field. But the biggest thing, and the biggest thing I'm proud of so far, is I think we've established the culture that we want this preseason, and I think going forward there's going to be less distractions, and I'm really excited for what this group is going to be able to do. Whereas last year we might have been limited in numbers, we weren't able to challenge everyone as much as we wanted to throughout the year. With this group, because of our size, we can continue to go at it every day and continue to challenge everyone and get better.
Now you take a look at your roster, no seniors, only 2 juniors, few sophomores, a lot of freshmen. It's easy for people to look at that and say, wow, young, inexperienced team, that's going to lead to mistakes. Those mistakes could lead to losses. How do you look at the opposite side of that and say, we are young and inexperienced, but that's going to give us the advantage because...
I think guys need to realize that this is a long-term plan. I think in our league, we can compete with anyone right now, but there are going to be bumps in the road. Perfection isn't going to come right away, and it might not even come next year. Guys need to embrace that this plan, it doesn't end after this weekend when we play Ithaca. It doesn't end after we play Mitchell mid-season. It doesn't end at the end of this year. Because we have no one graduating, we're able to really think long-term with this group, and that excites me, but at the same point, guys need to be hungry this season, because I do mean there's no limits on what we can accomplish in this league in year one.
Team hasn't made the playoffs since 2012. You think you guys are going to be the ones to end that run, end that dry spell, and get it back into the postseason?
Yes, our goal is we expect to be in the playoffs this year. Our goal is actually a step further. We want to bring playoff soccer back to Everett Field. We want that happening this fall, this November.
You guys start the regular season, you've had a couple scrimmages already, but the games that really matter coming up in just a few days. How ready do you think your guys are?
A lot of guys, this is going to be their first collegiate soccer game, so I'd like to say we're ready, but to a certain extent, I don't think you're ever ready until you got your first game under your belt. We played Norwich on Friday, they went 12-4 last year, lost in PKs in the GNAC, a very talented team. Then we play Ithaca, half their schedule is basically against nationally ranked opponents, so this is going to be a huge test. At times we're going to be exposed. We want to challenge, we want to compete, and hopefully we get a couple positive results, but we need to get better this weekend. That's the goal, and our goal is to leave this weekend and be ready to compete with everyone else in our league.
How ready do you think, especially with such a young and inexperienced team at the collegiate level at least, that if they were to face some serious hardships this weekend, facing off against some really quality opponents, that they're not going to get down on themselves and they're going to be able to learn from it and use it moving forward through the season?
I think that's going to be the biggest challenge all year. This weekend is going to be a huge challenge. Whenever there are bumps in the road, the biggest test this team is going to continue to face is how we respond. And as you said, with no seniors, that becomes even more difficult. But guys need to realize the opportunity that this group has, and they need to get past those bumps. They need to not get down. And anytime something happens, challenge themselves to get better and rise to the occasion at the next opportunity.
We mentioned the changes to Everett Field up there. One of those allows us to now live stream the games that are on our home campus. How exciting is that for you, the fans, the alumni, the players, and their families to be able to have those people watching at home without, if they're not able to make it to the campus?
Well, I hope everyone's excited about that. I know my parents are, my family are. They're 4 hours away. But as most people noticed, our roster is very diverse. We have guys from California, Texas, Georgia, Arizona, a bunch of guys from Florida, and apologize, I know I'm leaving other states out. But there's plenty of families that aren't going to be able to drive over to catch these games. So I'd like to think the players like it. I hope the families like it. It's a great addition to the program. I think it should keep everyone happy, and I don't know, I'm really excited for it.
The first chance to see the Mountaineers on Everett Field live through SVCathletics.com comes up during your home opening tournament, which is September 9th and 10th. You guys take on SUNY Canton in that first round. SUNY Canton, a team led by former SVC head coach Tim Penrod, the guy who recruited and coached you. That must be a little exciting for you.
I'm extremely excited. I'm still close with Coach Penrod. I'm very excited to have him back here. He brought both the trophies that we have behind us. With that being said, even though he's been there a couple years over at Canton, I want to compete with him right away. When I played for him, I always thought I knew more than him, so I'm pretty excited to try to prove it. That's just a joke. He was a great coach for us. He brought this program to new heights, and it's going to be a lot of fun to coach against him.
That weekend is the Linneo Mountaineer Invitational. You'll find out more information about that coming up on SVCathletics.com in the next couple days. As mentioned, the men open up at the Norwich University Cadet Kickoff Classic this weekend. You guys taking on the hosting cadets in first round on Friday evening. And then your NECC home opener is against Wheelock up on Everett Field once again on September 23rd. And of course, if you can't make it, you can watch it live online through SVCathletics.com to find the streaming links. Coach, thanks for joining us again today, and best of luck this season.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Hope to see you guys out there.